Hey guys, how's it going? And thanks for coming. I'm Nick, and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money because you know schools aren't. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, so let's get started. So in this video, guys, we're going over 3 simple money skills that everyone should have. Now, just because they are simple, you know, it's a simple idea and everyone could understand it. However, doing it is actually very difficult and complicated, which is why most people are broke and miserable, because they don't follow this all the way through. So I'm going over those 3, and I also have a bonus one at the end, so stick around. Real quick, I also have timestamps in the description, so if you want to skip around, you could go there. Alright, so let's get right into it, guys. The first money skill that you need to have is how to get a job. For entrepreneurs out there, you could substitute this with a business, small business, or anything like that. Your income is one of the biggest money factors in your life. So if you don't have enough money coming in, you need to get another job or a business or anything to get that income up. Now I'm just going to be focusing on like jobs and getting a job, and there are just so many factors to this one simple idea. What field should you go for? Should you stick with your degree? What can you do with your degree? Once you figure that out, you have to figure out like what job to even go for. Do you meet the qualifications? And then once you find that out, you have to realize, well, you got to structure your resume to that. So each individual resume should be tailored and relatable and linked to each specific job that you apply for. You can't just like send out a bunch of resumes out there to a bunch of different companies and hope for the best. I mean, it might happen sometimes, but it's not gonna really work. It's definitely not efficient. I've been there, I know. The wording on the resume has to be precise and usually has to link or almost match the application. I learned there's actually an algorithm out there, maybe not for smaller businesses, but definitely large companies, there's an algorithm. So if you don't have like a specific word, like the terminology is off, the computer doesn't even send your resume forward and a human doesn't even see it. If that's not obnoxious enough, once you're done with your resume, which could take forever because it's so precise, there's also the cover letter. You have to relate that to the job as well, so you just can't send out a generic cover letter. Maybe most of it you can, but you still have to tailor it. So yeah, all that past experience that you went through your entire life, you kind of have to condense all into one page. So if all this eventually works, the next step, of course, is the interview. You got to worry about what you're wearing. You got to look professional. You got to worry about the thank you email when the interview is over. You got to worry about salary negotiations. I'm reiterating salary. You should not solely focus on an hourly rate. You should look at what you get paid yearly. So if you cannot do any of this, you're essentially stuck in wherever position you are right now, and you're going to remain there forever if you don't learn this stuff. So I actually have another video, an older video, I might update it in a little bit, but I go over how to look for a job. It has a bunch of great resources in there. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. And that was all for skill 1. Simple idea, but very in-depth and complicated most times. Just like skill number 2, which is how to save more money. Everyone tries, most do not succeed, but my one-word answer to this is cash flow. So if you have the skill to number 1, you got your job or you got your business, whatever, going, you have your income coming in, and it's great. You got income coming in, but if your wallet is still emptier than a federal building during a government shutdown, that is a problem. You see what I did there? Because the government is still shut down. So you have to look at the debt, understand what you even have, start paying it off, and you can't afford something just because you have a credit card. So technically, most people do not think this way, but if you have to borrow money, you cannot afford whatever you're trying to buy. And that goes for everything. I'm talking using a credit card for food, coffee, even getting a loan for your car, and yes, even a house. Because you're using someone else's money, that means you technically don't have the cash to afford it. Now, just because you can afford monthly payments does not mean you can afford it. What that means is a business or a company actually successfully manipulated your mind to make you believe that, one, you actually have to buy something, also called materialism. Being a consumer, not always a bad thing, but you do have to balance it. And two, they made you believe that you could actually afford it. So essentially start thinking for yourself and realize that you can actually do third grade math, because that's almost all what you need. If you have $20 in the bank, you cannot buy something for $25. It's simple. People just don't grasp it. I know you guys do, because you actually took the time and effort to watch a video like this. Most people do not, so you're actually ahead of like 99% of people out there. So understand that it is a skill to understand that it doesn't matter how much you're making. Understand it's income minus your expenses, and whatever's left over is your cash flow every single month. And that is a skill that we all need. And moving on to the third skill that we all absolutely need is, and this doesn't only relate to money and finance, but we have to live below our means. So we all heard this, but I can't stress enough of how important it is, because if you're living at or above your means, you literally don't have anything afterwards. You have no wiggle room. That's literally all you have. Again, this isn't only relating to money. This is literally everything. This could be food, this could be car, this could be house, this could be like vacation, this could be clothes. Everything. Because if you're trying to get like the top that you possibly can, it's like, oh, I could afford it, I could squeeze this into my budget, if you even have a budget. But if you can't afford two of them, you shouldn't buy one of them. Now, this is like the exact opposite of how people act. They might think this, they might say they do this, but acting and talking about it is two completely different things. So when you're actually doing this, you're walking your talk, it's going to be the opposite of society. They're going to think you're weird. They're going to think something is wrong with you. They're going to, like, you're wasting your time. You're stupid. They're going to try and call your parents guardians and try to sell you on Craigslist for a discount because that's what you're worth. Maybe not that last one, but it's going to be tough, and other people are going to judge you. Real quick, what's really interesting to notice, all those people that are apparently judging you are broke. Now, I actually love it when like a broke person tries to give financial advice. That it's humorous. Like, how's that going for you? Like, it doesn't make them a bad person, but if you're broke or if someone else is broke, don't take financial advice from them, because obviously it's not working. Now, the thing with this, guys, is that it's a completely different lifestyle. Like, you live in this. It's not like you're trying to suffer and just try to scrounge up as much as you can. Like, it's not like a diet. It's not like a budget where you just get on it for a year, try to, lose that weight or save that much money, and then you stop. No, it's a lifestyle. You live like this your entire life, and you're not like undervaluing yourself. You're content of what you have. Again, this is the exact opposite of what others are going to think. So you really have to practice on not caring what others think. A lot of people say they don't care. They do. If they post on a social media and expect a bunch of likes, they care what other people think. So with that, I want you to focus on your goals, your future, because no one else cares about your goals or your future, because they're worrying about they're really not even worrying about theirs, but they don't care about that. They have their own lives to live, so you have to live yours. So those are the 3 money skills, and like I promised you guys, I also have a bonus skill. And I'm going to have to explain a little bit, but it's the significance of small and large numbers. So one example of that would be looking at small numbers like $20. People usually don't bat an eye at $20, like it's not significant, so they spend it. Well, if you spend $20 5 times, it turns into $100, and then it starts becoming significant. So yes, like a one-time purchase of something like really small in like dollars, or wherever you guys are from, it's not gonna make or break you. At least I hope it doesn't make or break you, like $5. But if, you know, a small purchase continues to happen over like your entire life, obviously it's going to be huge. Now, the exact opposite of worrying about small numbers is big numbers. Example, compound interest. This increases dramatically, I don't know if that's a word, but this is like the eighth wonder of the world, and it's just incredible how you can become a millionaire even with small amounts over the long term. Unfortunately, it takes long term. So you need to start worrying about big numbers, because if you stick with this, all these skills and all the nuggets throughout my videos, you're eventually going to have to handle big numbers because you're doing something right. I feel like people are like afraid of big numbers. They worry about small numbers like dollars. They worry about if they get charged an extra 25 cents at the supermarket. And they don't bat an eye when they pay an extra $250 toward a car payment. Like, if you're worrying about a quarter, that's a problem. Worry about bigger numbers. So most people focused on dollars and not thousands, when I focus on thousands and not dollars. And I'll leave it at that, guys. So thank you so much for watching. What do you guys think? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Do you have any simple money skills that you would add to this? So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see ya in the next one.